Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alberta News and Views. I hope that all of you out there in this crazy country of ours you're doing okay. Because the fabric of society is being torn apart. This is the second report now in 1 week talking about how society in Canada is it's getting crazy. Getting crazy. The first report from the R.C.M.P said that if Canadians realize just how broke they are, there's a likely chance they will revolt against their government. And now this anti-authority narratives could tear the fabric of society, intelligence report warns. And it's for reasons that I'm sure you already know of. Threats against politicians have become increasingly normalized due to extremist narratives prompted by personal grievances and fueled by misinformation or deliberate lies, warns a newly released intelligence report. The report was from 2021, started in 2019, ended in 2021, is unchanged in 2023. I believe I got that right. And it is also from the R.C.M.P. To wrap this thing up, because I got some other things I want to show you to support this, is politicians need to start telling the truth. They need to start asking more input from its citizens, and they need to start doing what we want. We don't have recall legislation. We are stuck right now in a perpetual cycle of an agenda that none of us voted for. None of it was on election platforms. And it is just scandal after scandal after scandal, it seems, every single day now. Every poll shows the vast majority of Canadians want an election. And then what drives us nuts is we have a prime minister that says he believes in democracy, but refuses to resign, which he should, and refuses to call an early election because reports are showing that he is setting up golden retirement for his ministers for keeping him in power. That's the deal. So it's things like this that, of course, the fabric of society in Canada is being torn apart. The carbon tax is a perfect example. So there is a nationwide protest against the carbon tax that is being scheduled. You can just look this up really quick if you want to be part of it. But this is what I am saying. 7 out of 10 Canadians do not want a carbon tax. So get rid of it. It really is that simple. But nope. Not in Trudeau's government. This guy that screams passionately all the time that he believes in democracy will not do what the people want. You can go on Twitter X, just type in carbon tax, and it is incredible how much information you get debunking this carbon tax in an hour, just in 1 hour. There is just podcast after podcast of these experts, politicians, saying one thing on the conservative side. Then you get politicians on the liberal side talking about it, counteracting each other. So when this report says that society, the fabric of society is being torn apart in Canada because of misinformation and disinformation, well, who's telling the truth? So we get experts telling us the truth, that the carbon tax isn't lowering emissions. We're not getting more back than we receive. It's not working. And only Canada has a carbon tax when Canada doesn't even have 2% of carbon emissions, but nobody else does. That is enough to drive somebody crazy, especially when they can't afford to eat or heat or even pay for their mortgage for their house anymore. This is what is happening in Canada. I got to show you this burn by Danielle Smith, the best premier in Canada, by the way. Stephen Guilbeault, Environment Minister of Canada, says, gas prices are set to rise in Alberta next month, with the provincial government fully reinstating its fuel tax. Does that come with a rebate of $1,800 a year for a family of 4? Danielle Smith. This right here is a lie. It's not like that. Danielle Smith blasts him and says, sorry, minister, but your punitive consumer carbon tax that doesn't even reduce emissions is not the same as our fuel tax, which pays for roads that you won't build anymore. And of course, she is referring to when Stephen Guilbeault said, we're not building highways anymore. Continuing on, Pierre Poilievre, Parliamentary budget officer. He says, Trudeau says the parliamentary budget officer backs his carbon tax math. So then Poilievre says, so let's have a listen. And of course, it's just another video of the parliamentary budget officer debunking everything that Justin Trudeau is talking about. Here is the nationwide protest against the carbon tax. I'm telling you, people, it is just, this is what is tearing us apart. We deserve justice and honesty. It's just one after another. We can't have an election soon enough. I've been talking with a lot of people way smarter than me, a lot of economists. I was talking with a lady from Venezuela. She's from Venezuela, lives in Canada now, and she says everything that happened in Venezuela that led up to the collapse is happening in Canada right now. And you can see it. And to just talk on that point, you really can't see it if you've lived in Canada for a long time. You have a government that's just getting caught now. So what we have in Canada is scandals all the time, and they're all in on it because it's been going on for so long. So it's snowballing. So the truth is coming out. So they need to stop that, which is our online censorship. We're all getting angry. So they need to disarm us. They need to bring back, they need to put in the gun buyback bullshit. They need to get a hold of that, right? So now all of a sudden people are getting angry and they're going to start coming after the government and they're talking. So now they need to start the Online Harms Act. So that's how it happens. They're guilty, 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 and it's spiraling out of control. So they're trying to protect themselves. So it's just a blanket of laws. And everything is collapsing now because they're making Canada so unattractive to invest and free to do business. So then the money leaves. So when you have all of these instances, it's like death by 1,000 cuts. It's just one thing after another that leads to more government control, more government control. It's like they're trying to put out a fire by suppressing us. And to the point where you just have communism. You have the government taxing the shit out of everybody. So you actually have something instead of absolutely nothing. And then they have full control. And then, of course, it doesn't work. And then the cycle repeats itself. Follow me on Substack and Spotify. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Like, share, and take care.